Hi guys, it's Senna here. I decided I'd do another video. Well, it was my first video today. But do another video because I've got someone coming into town and I'm not, as I would say, fully out of the broom closet yet. So a lot of this stuff has to be put away, and I don't know how long it'll be until I can make many more videos. So I might make a few today to be able to post over the next couple weeks, so that we have something posted, because I'm going to be pretty busy over the next two or 3 weeks. So it's going to be kind of hard, and we're running out of light. It's cloudy outside, so the natural lighting isn't really helping much either, and my other lamp that I had is in the living room right now, and I don't feel like going to get it. So this is the lighting you're gonna get. It's not perfect, but whatever. So I decided to make this video for beginners, for new people. If you are this is your first time typing in Wicca into YouTube, and you're just like, you came across this from somebody, you heard it somewhere, or you're really into, like I was, like originally how I came across it as a kid. I used to run around making potions out of leaves and sticks and flowers with my best friend, and we carried around sticks and pretended they were wands, and she even got a hold of a book of spells at I think a pagan festival she went to with her parents. I don't know if they realized it was a pagan festival that they were going to, and we cast spells and did all sorts of things when we were little. I was very obsessed with witches when I was little. I was a witch almost every Halloween up until recently. So if you're like that and you just decided, hey, this is an actual thing, there are actual witches out there, and you came across Wicca, the religion that is associated with witchcraft sometimes. Again, not all Wiccans are witches. But if this is your first time, that's kind of what I want to make this video for, is for newbies, full-on newbies. So I kind of want to explain where you need to start when you're coming into Wicca, and especially if you're looking into the magical aspect of Wicca, which I have not dabbled in myself at all. Like I said in my previous videos, I am just studying the spiritual and religious side of Wicca at the moment. I have read books and a lot of YouTube videos and things on the magical side of Wicca. So for me, one of the first things when you're getting into this that you need to look into, you need to read, is something called the Wiccan Rede. If you're going to be participating in this, if you are thinking that this is for you, you need to read this and you need to understand it, because if you don't, then you can't be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing this. So if you're really interested in Wicca, and it's really something that might be for you, the Wiccan Rede is something you need to look up. Google it. I have it here. I have it written down in my Book of Shadows on page 1. It's the first thing in there. And I can read it to you now and kind of explain what it is and what it means, because it's kind of in ye old language. So yes, the Wiccan Rede is abide the Wiccan law ye must, in perfect love and perfect trust. 8 words the Wiccan Rede fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will. What ye send forth comes back to thee, so ever mind the law of 3. Follow this with mind and heart, merry ye meet and merry ye part. So what that's saying is that there's kind of a law, a rule. It's the only rule in Wicca that there really is, and that is the Wiccan Rede. It's saying that perfect love and perfect trust. Anytime you enter your circle, you enter your altar, you enter up to a place of worship, you must be perfect love and perfect trust. You can't be bringing in any negativities. You can't be going into this not believing it, especially if you're going to be doing magic. You can't do magic and not believe in what you're doing. If you're doing it thinking, oh my god, this isn't going to work, it's not going to work. If you don't believe it's going to work, it's not going to work. You have to have trust in the fact that you're going to put this out in the universe and it's going to work. You have to do your magic, and if you do your mojo bag or your potion or whatever you want to call it, tinctures and stuff, and then you put that aside, and you put it aside and you believe it's gonna work, it's gonna work. And that's what perfect love and perfect trust means, is you need to have the perfect love and perfect trust in your heart, and understanding that if you put that out there into the universe, it's going to happen. You can't have doubts. You can't second guess it. You need to trust in the universe that if you put it out there, the universe is going to make it happen for you. So that's what my interpretation, from what I've heard from other people, their interpretation of that part is as well. Also, 8 words the Wiccan Rede fulfill, and ye harm none, do what ye will. Basically meaning you can do what you want, whatever you want, as long as it's not harming anybody else. You cannot do anything against somebody else's will. That is not Wicca. If you're doing that, that's not Wicca. That's not Wiccan. It might be witchcraft, but it's not Wiccan. What you put, you just can't. It's not polite. It's not right to do it. And in Wicca, that's a staple rule that we have, is you don't do anything without someone's consent. You can't make a love potion and make someone fall in love with you. That's not going to happen. It most likely will not work, because they aren't going to let it happen to them. It's not going to happen. You can't do harm to someone, make some sort of spell out there to make someone get injured or lose their job or something. That's not okay. It's not right. So that is our staple law. As long as it doesn't harm anybody, go for it. You're good to do whatever you want to do, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. And as long as you have someone's permission, you can do stuff. So you can do magic on other people as long as you have the permission, or do magic with other people as long as you have the permission. So say my husband is very, very sick, and I want to do a spell to maybe help him get better, or maybe he's having trouble financially, or a friend of mine is having trouble financially. I want to help them. I want to write a spell, or infuse a candle with my intention. I need their permission first. As long as I have their permission, I'm good to go. But I can't just do that without their permission, because that can interfere with so many other things. You don't even know. You don't want to mess with that kind of stuff in the universe. And that's what the next part of the Wiccan Rede is about. When it says, what ye send forth comes back to thee, so ever mind the law of 3. Now, the law of 3 is basically meaning whatever you put out into the universe comes back to you threefold. 3 times. It's going to come back either 3 times worse in one way, or it'll come back in 3 different separate occasions, and they're going to be bad. If you put it out there bad. If you put something out there bad, it's going to come back to you 3 times bad. I had an experience with roommates of mine that were very, very mean and cold-hearted to us and to many of their other friends. And I will tell you that karma is a bitch. It's real, it's out there, and the universe will get you back if you're a bad person. And it did. I mean, their house was broken into, their car got broken into, a lot of bad things have happened, losing jobs. So it does. It comes back to you threefold. If you're putting out good energy out there and you're sending out good vibes, that comes back to you threefold too. You're sitting there and you're doing something good for somebody else. You're just doing something good for the environment, which is especially important. You want to take care of nature. If you go out there and you plant a tree in the springtime, or even a plant on your windowsill or something, that comes back to you threefold. And it might be something that happens once that is 3 times as good, or it can happen in 3 different occasions, 3 separate things that happen. So you may go out there and do something to thank nature, thank the goddess for what she's done, and do that by planting something. And then, maybe the next day you come across some money, or maybe you happen to walk into a store and find that thing that you've finally been looking for, and it happens to be there. And then maybe you get a call or a notification on Facebook from someone you've been hoping to hear from. And that's what came back to you 3 times. 3 times right there. 1, 2, 3. It's come back to you. You may not realize it, but the universe is working with you. And if you're putting good vibes out there, it's going to come back to you in a good way. And it's the same as the opposite. If you are out to harm somebody or out to do something bad, it's going to come back to you 3 times as bad. It's the law of 3, and it's real. I've seen it in action, and it's a bitch, and I wouldn't want to mess with that. So that's pretty much our staple rule right there of just don't do anything without anyone's consent. Even if your intentions are pure, don't do it without their consent. Call them up. I know they're sick in bed somewhere. Call them, say, hey, would you mind if I did, made a little soup or something that I put my intention into to help you? And they're like, yeah, sure, it's fine. Then you're good. You're golden. Yeah, but if you call them up and say that and they're like, no, thank you, I really don't believe in that and I don't want that, with me, and you don't know how somebody feels. So if you don't ask them, for all you know, that's something that they might not want. They don't believe in it, and they don't want that inflicted upon them, and you're doing it without their permission, and that's not okay. So always get someone's permission, and never do anything to harm anybody or do ill will to anybody in any sort of way. It's not right, it's not polite, it's not okay, and it's not Wiccan. That's not what we do. So then follow this with mind and heart. Merry ye meet and merry ye part. So basically, as long as you follow this, this simple rule, you're golden, you're good. That's all we ask of you. That's all they ask of you in Wicca. That's the only, the Christians have the Bible with all these rules and all these things that you have to abide by. They have the 10 commandments. This is our one commandment. Don't do any harm. Do what you're doing with good intentions, and you're fine. And the universe will work with you. God and Goddess will work with you, as long as you are doing it with pure heart, and you have everybody's permission to do so. You're fine. But that's our one rule. Or we have one rule, and that's it. The Wiccan Rede. You can Google it. There's actually a much longer version of it. That's one section that's taken out of this whole kind of poetic poem type thing. I am a horrible Wiccan for not knowing who wrote it off the top of my head. I have it written down in my Book of Shadows, but my old Book of Shadows, which is put away right now, and I don't want to take the 2 minutes to get the box out and find who wrote it. But there is a whole thing, and I have that whole thing copied and written down. But this is the section that we kind of took out and that we go by. So before you get into this, before you do anything, if you disagree with that, if you're getting into this and you're thinking, no, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I'm gonna, put a spell on somebody that I don't want them to, they deserve it. They were mean to me. My boss is an asshole, and I want to do this. You can, go for it if you want to, but realize that it's going to come back at you, and it will. Because like I said, I've seen it happen, and it's bad. It's really bad. And I've had good things happen to me that come from what I've done. I haven't done anything really magical, like I said, but intentions is a form of magic. What might not be a purposeful form of magic, but you do something mentally, and you're praying, and you're really hoping someone will get better, or you're hoping someone will get this job, or hoping they'll do this, and it happens. You did kind of put a magical effort into that, into helping them get that if they get it, or whatever it is. And I've experienced getting good things in return from that, from doing those kind of things. So yeah, it's worth it to look it up, look into it. That's the first thing you need to do before you get into Wicca, before you even delve into, especially the magical part of Wicca. Look up the Wiccan Rede, look up the translation of it and exactly what it means. I might not have done it perfect justice here, but you need to know what you're getting into, and what, so you might just be into witchcraft, you might not be into Wicca, because they are separate entities. They work together, yes, but they are separate things. There are witches that are not Wiccan, and that might be more what you're looking for if you're reading into this and you're saying, no, you're thinking that you want to do what you want to do, and that's fine. You do what you want to do, but as a Wiccan, if you don't follow this law, you're not a Wiccan. You're really not. In my personal view, that's what I believe. And I think that's what most Wiccans believe, because of everything that I've read and heard, is that's our one law, our one rule. And if you can't follow one commandment, gone. I mean, Christians follow 10. And then there's a whole bunch of other rules they have out through that book. Lord knows what else that they follow and they have to listen to and stuff. But that's the one thing that we ask of you, is to not harm anybody. And ye harm none, do what you will. So, don't harm anybody. As long as it's not harming anybody, do what you want. Feel free. And so, yeah. I hope I explained that decently enough. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get into the hang of this. So, yeah. Again, like I said, if you're a beginner and you're getting into this, the Wiccan Rede, read it, learn it, know it, breathe it. It's our only rule. It's pretty simple to follow. So, and you should really look into it anyways. Just Google it, look up the full poem. It's a beautiful thing. It's great to know. It's great to have written down on paper somewhere. I do have it written down somewhere, like I said. So yeah, that's all I wanted this video to really be about. So, I'll probably make another video today, maybe a few videos. I don't know what about yet. We'll see what happens. So I hope you have a good day. I hope I explained that well enough for you. And, yeah, welcome to Wicca, if this is what you want to do. It's exciting. It's a great road. It's a wonderful path to be on. I'm blessed to have come across it myself, and I hope you find your path. Good luck on that. Thank you for joining me, and I will see y'all in my next video. Have a good day. Blessed be. Bye.